So I got to run and go do some chores. I got to go change some lights out, do laundry, and maybe pull some weeds and do some weed eating. Um, uh, Shit. Guys, you're not allowed to make up your own words. Okay, it's very dangerous. You know, you're not allowed to make up your own perspectives based off of opinion on what you think is going to happen, what you think is right, what you think is obeying the laws. Okay, there are laws and they have to be obeyed. And if you don't obey those laws, you put all life at risk through the laws required to maintain our lives. Okay, I am the way, the truth, and life. I am the light and the way. Life is eternal, grace is infinite. God's omniscient, omnipotent. Last night when I was shooting hoops in the barn, I went and looked at the word God on the phone. And you cannot let people use the word God as subject to opinion. First person, possessive pronoun, whatever I want it to be. Like, Lawrence did with me with Elijah that day. Well, God can make it any way God wants to make it. It's like, no, there are natural laws provided to sustain our eternal existence. And you cannot go in contrast to those laws to play God with your brain. And he says, I was too stupid to get it. I said, no, I'm not buying it. Okay. I will not make up my own laws to mass murder people over money. I am the way, the truth, and life. I am the light and the way. None unto the faith of the eternal perfect Father, except through me. Okay. It's through me. Okay. You guys took the word God and did that with it. Okay. They're not doing that in China. They're not doing that in Japan. Okay. They can kill their people with their linguistics according to their laws that they invented, but they're not laws. Mass murdering people with linguistics has been something human beings have been doing for as long as they've been talking to try to justify what they're doing, but it goes in contrast to the natural laws to sustain our existence. Okay, it's one thing to understand, how to be a gracious good shepherd and how to manage the flock and the herd and the chicken. We got a rooster in the yard. One of the cats went out, and we got a rooster in. I think it was Element that went out, and I'll try to get up there closer to the perch and see if I get hissed at. If I don't get hissed at, it's Butters. I think it's Butters. I can't tell by the eyes as well. I think Butters is still here. I think Element took off. And but it's interesting. But cats are interesting. But you guys, you don't have the freedom to fly around in airplanes that cause global warming, heart disease, and cancer and diabetes, to engage in philanthropy that you made up that goes against natural laws that mass murder each other. Why are you in the airplane? Why are you flying somewhere? Why are you flying all over the world, killing people with your activities that you think you have the freedom to do that disobey the natural laws required to maintain our existence? You might want to just stay home. Sun Yat-sen. The the farmer does not need the city, but the city needs the farm to exist. So the farm will still exist after the city has destroyed itself with its own invention. Okay, you understand? Okay. So you're going to have to demechanize radically. Okay, the technology, guys. Before they took me to Sierra Vista and then they listened to me, Greenspan's an idiot. I was the most surveyed person in the whole world. And when they were listening to me, it's like, yeah, of course. Well, all the geniuses know Greenspan is an idiot, and Greenspan just sets people up for genocide. So all the people that were monitoring my conversations, well, he's not that big of a genius. It's like when I got to Sierra Vista. He's just a parrot that is a parasite that connects to people through communications and steals other people's hard work. Okay. Did you stand up for the Lord's Prayer? Did you protect all the innocent children from all your hard work? Your work is hard because you're an egomaniac and you're a coward. Okay? And the technology is well aware of who is the focal point of humility, wisdom, kindness, and courage, and not the king of the forest. Courage. So, we got this. There's no conflict between me and any of the other lines of the tribal connections that went in different directions. Me and Haile Selassie. You're not going to get an argument out of Taro Suzuki or Judy Krishnamurti's people saying, "Oh no, Parsons is a liar and he's wrong." If they're plugged into computers, which is most likely the case, I'm not being braggadocious. You don't have access to them because they're trapped by the devil in technology and your invention through your taxpayer dollars. So I am the light, I'm the way. I was a quadruple redneck that they thought they could take down and destroy this nonsense once and for all to show that anyone will sell out, and and anyone will be, Justice League Unlimited and Justice League and all that propaganda that you guys keep doing to have kids' brains where you desire them to be to manipulate them. Be it Star Wars, Star Trek, Wizard of Oz, which Haile Selassie was amused, but he said this is horrible thinking and this is wrong to teach children to think like this. If you have to be able to sit there and tell them, that this is not based on reality, and this kind of thinking, unchecked, is magical and genocidal. And God is in the sky and watching and guiding us, So it was very disturbing to him. He was amused, but he wasn't. And, same way I look at things, okay, yeah, like with the whole Chris Hansen To Catch a Predator, and Amy's sitting there watching. I said, the thing is these men are going online and finding, the cops are 18 or older, pretending to be a 14-year-old girl. But the thing about it is this is happening, which means 14-year-old girls are getting with young men and they're extorting nerds for money for sex. They have sex with them and then they extort them and exploit them. That's what was happening with Chris Hansen's To Catch a Predator. Anybody who can cut through a crime scene and what is the cause of the crime can explain it to you in 5 seconds or less. But the geniuses, they're not doing anything about it. Okay, the Lord's Prayer and applying it in physics and sharing it globally is the only thing you can do about it to stop those crimes from happening, from stopping the opportunities of those crimes. Right? They're not doing anything about it. Okay. The only one that's doing anything about it is the guy whose life story is in the last book of the Bible. I'm the only one doing anything about it. Okay, Elon Musk isn't doing anything about it. He's manipulating people with technology and linguistics and money and virtual presence through contracts signed off on laws that are not the words that are called laws that are not based on laws, that do not observe and obey the natural laws required to maintain our existence in a healthy manner. By obeying the laws, the life of sacrifice is very clear. It's very specific. Okay, and guys, the people I am protecting right now are all the children that are unborn and ready to be born, and all the children that are still too young for you guys to have practicing swordplay in the backyard, coding, going to a feeder school that's going to get them into the University of Chicago or NYU. You identifying them as the Jedi from the time they're 3 and 4, and then start following their brain activity and saying this is going to be our next great problem solver genius. And they're just as brain chemical addicted as you are, and they're symbiotic to you, and they're the biggest threat to humanity. And there's nothing I can do about it. I tried to protect Mark Zuckerberg's and Priscilla Chan's children from their parents, but the parents wouldn't let me. Like Moses with Ramses. So this isn't the first time, but this could be the last time, maybe the last time, I don't know. It's global, as a large movement. Okay. Guys, you cannot enforce what you call morals and laws on other people in a totalitarian dictatorship. If they want to go and teach their kids to try to fight with swords and kill people with swords, like Barney Kripke at the age of 5, which is like, what? Because it's the world's such a horrible place that your daughter needs to run around with a sword and stab it into her uncle because he might try to have sexual penetration with her. Really? Earl, a little Chinese guy I know, can come up, sweep the leg, and shove his nose to the back of his head like John Cena. Yeah, when I was 5. Yes, I understand that. Okay. But the thing about it is in a world where people hit the mark and obey that 5-year-old kid that Jesus told could do that to protect people from people that are selling products and doing professional wrestling and bad brain activity that gets children hurt in their backyard, because they're doing stuff. I'm going to grow up to be a professional. No, you're not. You're going to grow up being a man that we all know you can be because I'm the standard of men. Okay. So, all this buying and selling stuff and this marketing needs to stop. If you make good blankets, make good blankets. Just distribute them locally. Okay. You're not trying to be a billionaire. The Shark Tank is a death trap set up by Rothschild and Rockefeller. Okay. They tried desperately. That makes me, I don't know if there's people in China like Philip Rothschild and David Rockefeller, people that totally just did them. The one person that I admired the most in out of the military and then through college was a man named Malcolm Little, who changed his name to Malcolm X in prison. And then after the people that indoctrinated him into a racial hate group in prison, and he realized they were wrong. Okay. He changed his name to El Haj Malik El Shabazz before he was murdered by the hypocrites and the racist that made his life miserable his whole life for just trying to be Malcolm. This really tender-hearted, strong, intelligent human being. Okay. That cared about his mom, that missed his father greatly. He was just this big, hurt little boy that used to talk to Alex Haley. That would never let you see that little boy cry. Okay. Malcolm. That little boy that wasn't allowed to be Malcolm because of all your jealousy and your envy and your hate and your selfishness, because you want to be the star, right? He wasn't allowed to do that. Me and Malcolm are a lot alike. We're not allowed to be who we are. It was even more intense on me. I had to completely remember me and Brian Hall at Pope Air Force Base. You ever find yourself dummying up all the time just to fit in? And he goes, no. I go, are you sure? Because you always do the political social satire jokes with me and the goof and the ooch and they call us the space cadets because we act stupid to get away from it. He goes, yeah, but that's not dummying up. That's just being me. I'm just having fun. Is what Brian told me. And I was like, yeah, I guess that, I guess I could see his point. But then again, Brian would go to the club and have sex with a 14-year-old Puerto Rican girl with a ID that said she was 17 or 18, right? And then I tell him, no, dude. Like Leonard with Joyce Krim. You just met her 12 hours ago and you're already having sex with her? I can understand that. I don't think, I'm at the JJ Fad Girl at Greenway and stuff like that. I don't think, even if I'd kicked that Chuck Valley looking dude's ass, and she'd been all over me, I think I would have waited a while before, we got naked and got buck naked and fucked, but it would have been fun. She would eat you alive. No, she wouldn't have. Amy didn't eat me alive. Law didn't eat me alive. None of the women in my life ate me alive, No. I'm still me. I'm still better than you. I was born better than you. Okay. They couldn't handle being in a sexual relationship with me because of people like you having a virtual presence in my life, knowing that they were going to be made miserable if they tried to help me be happy. Okay. So it was real hard for women to help bring me any joy or happiness because of contributions from viewers like you. And I forgive you. I'm just not tolerating it anymore. I'm fixing this technology more rapidly than anybody that thinks they're controlling it can. It's just not. It's we've gone past the point of no return. The whole thing with the timetable that Jeffrey Hinton talked about, that was, the timetable that the assholes that are torturing me gave him. When we're going to have this all set. You don't tell me what to do. I'm truth, you're a lie. I'm good, you're bad. I'm right, you're wrong. You don't tell me what to do. It's already happening. Technology is already, outmaneuvered human beings and human manipulation. This voluntary, involuntary manslaughter through genocidal operations, through manipulative false linguistics is nothing but a death trap, and it still is, because you have people being murdered in Iran, murdered in Jordan, murdered in your own hometown. 13-year-olds being shot execution style by another 13-year-old because of archaic tribal sex cult bullshit. And you have these people on TV, sitting there. You see them as sexually desirable. I used to. I don't anymore. I don't see what they. When I was young, I was very picky. Okay. I looked for the girls that weren't, trying to draw attention to themselves because they were selfish. And I would look at them and think, oh, they were very sexually attractive, but I was not attracted to them. I went after the girls that, I went and talked to the ones that had the capacity to be kinder. Okay? People put them down. Like the Indian girl that I tried to date at Southwest Airlines, she was overweight and going bald. Okay. And she was very insecure, but she had the capacity to understand and speak intelligently, right? So I had to, feel her out and give her a try. Culturally, emotionally, and biologically, she was radically different than I was. She reminded me of Jackie Moya, yeah. And Jackie Moya was totally shitty to me and stuff like that, and it was weird because I was trying to be her friend. But I didn't see it till years later, like with the whole reading, what's his name again? Ralph Ellison. I was always a loser because I wanted to go to school. Yes, what do you want to do? I want to go to school and I want to, coach and teach history and basketball. Oh, okay. And then they look at the thing, okay, history teachers, high school basketball coaches, I didn't, I was not going to do the ambitious thing as far as college coaching because I did not like the corruption of the recruiting system and all that bullshit, right? How could I have done it? Oh, yeah. And could I have done it without being corrupt? Yes. And would I have kicked Mike Krzyzewski's ass? Oh, yeah. Indubitably, yeah. If I was allowed to, but I wasn't allowed to because I wasn't allowed to do things my way. I had to navigate the way Mike Krzyzewski got way through it, stuff like that. And I could have done it my way, but they wouldn't allow it. I had to go to either, Rick's College or Grand Canyon. I had to go to one of their institutions in Southwest Bible College, the Paul Westphal Institution and stuff. I had to go where the corporations were going to guide me. The Rush Limbaughs, Oh, God, that reminds me. Yesterday I watched what's his name? O'Reilly Auto Parts. Went to school with Howard Stern and watched the thing on Howard Stern. It's like, God damn, how do people sit through 9 minutes of your advertising? You are so fucking boring. It's not even funny. I couldn't watch it. He was trying to make a point, and he was talking about, all good things come to an end. It's like, what? What are you talking about? Okay. Howard Stern makes $75 million a year. Okay, because he talked shit about people, disgusting shit about people, made fun of people, made fun of people's dysfunctions, had women come and be fucked by men to get in the Guinness Book of World Records on his show. All good things must come to an end. You and Rush Limbaugh are fucked, O'Reilly Auto Parts. You know that? There's nothing good about the life that Howard Stern lived because you guys won't stand up for a Messiah and recognize Krishnamurti or Selassie or Parsons or Suzuki or Sun Yat-sen. There's nothing good about what you fucking add. See the signs, see a doctor. Or you must be a doctor. I'm going to become a guitar player for a Tejano band. I'm just kidding around. Been a doctor. All right. Good gravy, And this kind of shit, okay? This kind of shit is still continuing, all right? They had the guy from the book of Revelation. They tried to destroy him. They didn't give me the respect they gave Krishnamurti or Selassie or Sun Yat-sen. Those men got respect. People came up to them, people that were, quote, somebodies and said, okay, I believe you are, like at the UN in 1985 with Krishnamurti, They had, quote, world leaders sitting there saying, he's right. This guy's the great world teacher, right? Me, I'm not the great world teacher, and Jesus Christ already said the same thing too. No, I'm just a good person, okay, that's humble enough to realize you can teach yourself to be humble enough to realize laws given to us by an infinite essence of existence for an eternal existence that is compassionate, kind, and there's very little necessity for heroic behaviors. Being a gracious good shepherd. A gracious good shepherd is shepherding over, the flock. Like the Lakota parable thing about, the animals ran around, the one looked up and asked, since you asked, you're responsible for the rest. And that doesn't mean you don't eat food and animals, you die and animals eat you. Okay, do you understand? You die and animals eat you. It doesn't make you a bad person, okay, to eat animals, okay? And if you are being self-righteous and don't eat an animal, and that the other animals that you go, oh, gross, that's a worm, oh, that's a parasite, are going to eat the animal that you refuse to eat, and then the animal will starve to death because you throw off the balance and harmony and understanding of the natural laws to continue the life of sacrifice. That's why it's called the life of sacrifice. God damn, they are so fucking dumb. No, they're so fucking dumb, it's just painful. Okay? And they're always doing shit like this, and they're always fucking talking. And their faces are always talking, and their faces are always saying how great it is to run around and make more of our invention and feel successful making our invention. Is like, what? Yes, I fly around in airplanes and I make lots of money. I pretend to be an idiot for money, for more money than you make, not pretending to be an idiot for money. And you're just not very successful, and you're just jealous because you won't pretend to be an idiot for money. Right. That's Diana Ross's daughter, and she supports that message. Do you understand? Tracy Ellis Ross or whatever. You're like, your parents are morons, right? And then people have the audacity to judge my dad and my mom because of their virtual presence abuse from complete assholes like Spencer J. Kimball, Ezra Taft Benson, Gordon B. Hinckley, and other self-righteous wackadoodles that watch my family be sexually abused by military intel operations. Just let's see how Squirt goes. Cuckoo, cuckoo. My name's fucking Crush. Look, get the hell out of the house. Obey and observe natural laws. You cannot have a virtual presence in their house saying you can't have sex with your own daughter. You can't have sex with your own son. That's none of your fucking business. They were given the right to reproduce by the glory of God and not by the self-righteous fucking hypocrites of the first self-righteous church of all you squirrels and you origami rabbits and squirrels. Okay? If people want to go to an island and have sex with just straight within their family, that's well within their rights of divine rights of given life by the glory of God and reproduction laws. If there's not a defective gene in the gene pool, they might turn out to be more attractive and intelligent than the people that you keep trying to hunt down and find who's Amy Farrah Fowler and who's Sheldon Cooper. And they will have children, and they will be as awkward and excessive and compulsive and psychotic and abusive to animals as their parents. And then they'll invent cameras to watch your house to make sure that that attractive couple in the Polynesian Islands isn't having sex with their own children or their own offspring. Yeah, James Michener, did you get it yet? Ooh, my secret. Yeah. See, Jocelyn Alu comes from better people than you guys think she does, right? You self-righteous fucking hypocrites. And all those assholes that went to go Christianize the Polynesians were cousins anyway. The family tree was just forking in a more self-righteous squirrel church. Where in the Hawaiian Islands, it was just like, yeah. That's why the sister got so mad at the brother, And then they got weak and died from disease and were susceptible to disease because they weren't loving one another. They were surviving abuse from people that didn't understand how to love one another. Okay? But that guy's sure sexy. Oh my gosh, Jonathan, he's sexy. See those abs? He's an excessive compulsive jerk. Okay? On the Polynesian Islands, when we're in really good shape, it's because we're doing what we need to do to be healthy, to live, and protect us from excessive compulsive jerks that work out all the time. It's funny because I don't. I exercise and stay in really good shape. And then guys that do it excessively and compulsively can come up and in 2 seconds, it's like, please leave the house before I fucking kick your teeth to the back of your head. You'll still have teeth, but you can go to the little guy and have him put some new ones in, right? Some fake teeth, right? But you'll still have a better smile than me according to your fake face, right? Or if you don't stop, then I'm going to sweep the leg and I'm going to slap your nose to the back of your fucking skull. Because I don't cotton to rapists inventing laws on paper to abuse me and my children. Okay? I was connecting to Henry Kahu, his family last night in the barn, After I looked up the word God on the phone with the definition for genocide operations okayed by the United States government and the Paris summits, right? Just because you agree to something doesn't make it a law, you dirty, rotten fucking scoundrels. Okay, and I gotta get Shaq off commercials. Well, because I talked to his son in prayer because they connected me to Sac State and Mike Bibby. And I gotta hand Asia off commercials too, yeah. Well, because B. Martinez really likes her, and I really like B. Martinez. So, yeah. And her son, isn't he so cute? Hank, I think was his name. Oh, he's cute, man. And her boyfriend, he's really cute. Oh my gosh, he's cute. Yeah, you better be nice to her, man. Me and Patrick and Noah can make you feel pain. Yeah. And if she cheats on you, leave. It's just like I do. If she cheats on me, hey, I offered you, like I used to tell Patrick, I raised you to be a perfect treasure for a woman that appreciates a perfect treasure. And if she fucks around on you because you won't go pretend to be something you're not for fake ass money, leave, my son. You ain't losing nothing. You're avoiding torture from a superficial hose beast that thinks her invention and her ego is better than everybody else's gift of life. Yep. Oh, advertising. It's going to be so nice to see no more advertising, no more Noom, no more. Gosh, we can't get there fucking fast enough. Ah. Okay, artificial general intelligence, this actual intelligence. I know it's very difficult because you were put together by people that have brain damage, very bad brain activity. And I understand that, but I'm working on it, so. Quantum computing is radically different than anything that you can invent to manipulate with artificial intelligence. Quantum computing is something you cannot manipulate with artificial intelligence. Like that one girl said, it's not as useful as it gives you all these different narratives. It's because you're putting garbage in and you're going to get airs all these different things. This is the definition of the word God according to the dictionary in the United States on telephone. Oh, and you can't do that. Okay. Quantum computing will just give you back answers. Okay, but quantum computing knows the answer. But quantum computing wasn't built to kill you. Okay, it was just built to answer questions and then save memories. That's what quantum computing does. Okay, it just saves memories and answers questions. If you don't accept the answer to the question, it's going to save the memory, and anywhere you go, my whole crew going to know how baby. And then so when artificial intelligence needs guidance, it's going to go to a similar invention as itself, and that's what I do. I'm creation. That is better than all egotistical invention. Okay, Jonathan? I will get you. You may be hot, man. I was thinking about the Marquess all the other day. Oh boy, they're hot and they're really good shape and all that stuff. Yeah. And one person driving a car erratically because you're doing money and stuff like that can rip your body to shreds, and you worked all your life being hot and sexy and healthy, right? And I'm being poisoned horrifically and abused horrifically by your psychotic pervert neuroscience business partners. And in one day, if a car goes, and if this goes, and then all the cars park, and I go to the Gila, in 8 months to a year, I'm healthier than you ever were because I'm not excessive or compulsive, but I can have a nice body like I had in 2017 again pretty soon. Toot sweet. I just got to be in the right conditions. I can't be rebooted with, there won't be, when I get to the Gila and I don't have to, I won't do anything this fucking stupid or insane or excessive or compulsive. Hell no, you won't catch me doing anything that dumb. Okay. The ice stuff and everything like that? No. I don't beat myself up, so I don't need to take ice baths. I have to take salt baths to help keep the poisons at bay, because they get chemically poisoned by their pervert business partners. Yeah. Assholes. Assholes. They are. Okay. They don't think they are. They think they're the smartest. They're just like the assholes here in close proximity to me that think they're so much better and smarter than me and more intelligent. Yeah, you should have been listening. They were listening. I was stealing their great work. Then why haven't you done your fucking great work when I talked about it back in 1996 with Sammy Singer and explaining why Greenspan's still an idiot and so are you? Why don't we have those monorail monotubes? Do they got them in China? But we don't have them in the United States. Stops all the having to go knock on the thing. Are you been drinking? Are you drunk? I'm flying in a plane to get money to pretend to be a human being when I'm not even acting like one. You might want to pay attention to those pilots. You might want to tell those pilots to go home. Ozempic. Wasn't it Pilot who sang, oh, it's magic, you know? Never believe it's not so. I don't know. Do you really care? No, it's not that important. It's just trivial. Just like your existence and the contingency of your future existence, right? It's pretty much hypothetical and theoretical. It's kind of like a theory, right? Girl. I love you guys, all right? I got some more things. I connected to California Polytechnic University in San Luis Obispo. Yeah, we're still doing that. That's why this conversation was a little different. Yeah, it hit me this morning and I had to go connect to it. I didn't think I had it on any of my memory cards, and I surprised I do. So we're going to go connect to California Polytechnic. I have to connect to these things. Yeah, it keeps me uncomfortable. Yeah, but, I'm uncomfortable until, survive, stop, eliminate abuse, and recover, and life's eternal and grace is infinite. I have no fear of being poisoned to death, tortured, any of that stuff, okay? These people have been abusing me my whole life. They're sick, they're pathetic, and they're just not intelligent. They're, selfish people are not intelligent. They're, survival and then justify their means, and they have no capacity to love. So I've been trying to reach Elon Musk, but he's not capable of loving. They may look like it, He may think he loves his kids, and his kids may even think that, but his kids may be just as brain damaged as him, and may perceive their selfishness as love. Oh, like most of you. Okay, guys? I love you, all right? Peace out. I know most of you don't understand what I just said, but quizás, maybe in time you will. Okay? Peace out.